Yes, guys, check this one out. Dooski! He's got a next one. This one's funny. Man's actually like Michael Jackson's dad. He's gonna make me laugh. He's gonna make you laugh. Anyway, further ado, this is G3D View. Definitely, I'm G3D Maximus. So check this one out for you guys.
Hey, man!
Just when you think you've seen Drewski do it all, this right here is the prequel to Joe. This is hilarious right here. This is the prequel to the Michael Jackson documentary that's out, but this one is called Joe. So check this out. This is a Drewski satire comedy. Most of y'all say he's not a comedian, but yo, he's a funny guy. Check it out.
Every legend starts with a dream.
Get y'all ass up. It's time to dance.
Damn it, Tito! How many times did I say it's 1-2 step?
The untold story of Joe Jackson.
But we just want to play with the other kids.
You ain't regular kids, man. Jackson 5. Wake up, dance. Go to sleep, dance. Fix your face, man. On the top.
5, 6, 7.
Didn't I tell y'all? Practice the steps. It's step, snap, step.
Dad, I thought it was step clap.
Childhood is nothing without fatherhood.
I don't know what's wrong with Drewski, but the makeup artist, who is the makeup artist? We need to see a face to the makeup artist. Somebody gotta disclose who the source is.
What are you doing, Joe? You can't keep doing this, Joe.
Somebody gotta teach these boys how to be a man.
I'm tired, Joe. Those boys are tired, Joe.
Well, you can leave.
If I'm leaving, I'm taking my boys with me.
Ain't nobody taking my boys out this house.
A father's love has no limits.
Why can't we go and play with the kids in the park?
Yeah.
Ain't no boy playing in no kids in the park. My God! Get back here!
Life in the 1960s, where you could get away with just about anything.
How was school, Jackie?
It was good. I finally started passing my classes again.
Jackie got a girlfriend.
Ain't y'all worried about selling records?
Calm down, Joe. You're scaring the boys.
Talking about hit records. Who done made a hit record in this house? Hit record! Y'all gonna make a new life for me.
I'm tired of dancing.
You want me to take this belt off? Fix your face, Michael, before I fix it for you. The boys are staying!
Those are my boys!
The boys are staying!
My boys!
Follow his rise. Understand his genius.
Get back in here, it's time for rehearsal.
Experience his greatness.
Y'all gonna arrest me for doing my job? Okay, so y'all trying to take on Joe out the house for whooping my boy's ass. It's showtime! Woo! I gave y'all all I got.
Joe.
Joe, can we get ice cream after this?
Coming to theaters this fall.
Don't go anywhere yet. We got some more clips coming from the BET Award.
I can say this without getting into trouble with the police. If you're a young man, young woman, a part of a gang, running your thing, or even if you are being exploited, I want you to know one thing. The police already know who you are. Now, some of you walk around with masked balaclavas, right? And let me tell you, it doesn't even matter. The police actually know who you are. Now, how do I know this? I've worked in youth justice for a while, and of course, I've worked in an adolescent team, and there's a lot of county lines and a lot of cases where young people are being exploited. And the vast majority of the time, young people are being exploited. When you see all this knife crime, it's actually exploitation. They're being forced into activities. I will say this though. Exploited or not, the police are watching you. And it's surprising when you're behind the scenes, right? When you're behind the scenes, it's surprising when you just sit back and listen on all these board meetings. They know who everyone is. And this is my point. A lot of them will walk around with the balaclavas thinking that they're hiding. when actually there are men and women on the other side of these cameras who have already identified you. They know generally what time you leave the house. They know who you hang around with. They know and have mapped out your movements. They even know, and this is really, really interesting. When I worked in an exploitation team, they already knew who you were being exploited by. They know about the orders. They know who they are. So to these young, especially these young boys, right? Especially these young boys on road, you feel invincible because your face is covered. You feel invincible because you're getting away with stuff. I'm going to tell you a very quick story. I remember, I hope I don't get in trouble for this, but a young person was involved in a lot of criminality, right? And to be honest with you, working really closely with him, he was being exploited. He could not stop where his life would be in danger. So basically he had to commit crimes to keep his neck off the block. And what was happening to him was he was being assaulted with sharp objects. The last time it happened, that I remember, it was with a glass bottle. They cut him up so bad to get out there and work off his debt. So he would just cut off his tag and just get to it. And he would be, in court. I remember he was in court like 3-4 times in the same, 2-week period, just cutting off his tag. He was on the highest order that there was. This was, I was working with the Youth Offending Service and I was a social worker at the same time. And we just didn't know what to do with this young man. We tried to get him moved, and that's another story. And the police, knew who was controlling him. And what they were doing was they were waiting. I believe this. They were waiting for him to turn 18 so that they could deal with him as an adult, because as a child, the laws protect you a great deal in terms of your sentencing, in terms of how swiftly the justice system deals with things. And in some ways it's disabling, because it teaches the young people that they have a lot more rope until the day they become 18. And so it's like they were waiting until he was 18 to convict him of certain offenses, in my opinion. I also got some inside information on that. But that's my point. I want you to show this to your young boys. Share this with your young people. I still do work with adolescents. And it's amazing. You know, the British police are the best in the world. I mean, hands down, the best in the world. You know, they move very smooth. They move very, in a sense, undercover. But when you get behind the scenes where I am privy to, they know who everyone is. Sadly, I think that the laws do protect people whose hands are apparently clean, but are doing the exploitation. That's another topic. But we're arresting these young boys and they are collateral, seriously high collateral for these elders. Again, the laws need to be altered. The threshold needs to be altered, in order to get these boys, these men, because they are creating some serious problems on the road.
Big up you guys out there, sir.
If I could do it all again, yeah, I would change that. I wouldn't really do it because the people I smashed on there became my friends later in life. You know, you can go to war with somebody, but this treated me for female. And
I always wanted to ask you, why'd you diss DMX?
Oh,
why'd you go there? Even though I'm listening to it though, motherfuck D, motherfuck M, but still, I was fucking with it. But I love DMX too,
right?
But
right.
I'm like, why'd you do it? And then, you know, when you did it, did you feel like that hurt your career after you did that?
Man, that's a very good question, because the reason why I did it, and I think, you know, anybody that's really in our culture of the streets know that some of the greatest wars have always been created because of a female. I mean, the female has been the centerpiece of a lot of misunderstandings and wrongs and rights, and a lot of reason why people get hurt off a female, and a female was the main inspiration behind calling out names, which got me pretty upset. You know, I felt at that time, she's trash, he's trash. Now I want to address everybody that treated me like trash when I was in the East Coast. Everybody's trash. East Coast, I ain't mad at y'all, but these particular individuals is trash. That's the way I felt back then. Yeah. And it was really based upon my feelings for this one lady, in which I said, you can have her. And all of y'all are smashed. The coast, you can't come to the coast because I'm going to uprage. The coast don't have to. I said it. I'm going to uprage. You're done. Yeah. That's how I felt then. I was young, dumb, and full of cum. I can't lie. Right. You know what I'm saying? If I could do it all again, yeah, I would change that. I wouldn't really do it because the people I smashed on there became my friends later in life. You know, you can go to war with somebody, but that might, at the end of the day, later in life, become one of your best buddies. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't know nobody until you don't like them. Then, you know, you find out in life when you become a man, you really ain't got that much of an issue with this person. You know what I'm saying? And y'all become great buddies because you're grown now. And you realize, like, man, what I was tripping about, man, that shit was garbage. And they be like, man, you know what? Fuck all that. I fucks with you. And you find a real strong friend in that. And I found that in that. But, you know, did it harm me? Yeah. It fucked with my career a bit. It actually, in the West Coast, I got so much support. The coast loved me so much. I got so much support. They rolled with me. But I lost, you know.
Fans from the other side.
Well, no, the business I lost. Because remember, I made New York, New York. So my original birthplace, East Coast, they've been hot at me. So it really didn't matter to me, you know, what they was thinking. No disrespect to them, but, you know, I did New York, New York. We already kicked over the building. So I'm like, why would you want to fuck with me in the first place? I'm already a monster, okay? I already showed everybody I'm a beast. So why tickle the dragon, man? Like, okay, y'all think I'm bow. I hit him with that one right there and let them know this is from me, not from the coast, not the homies. This is from Corrupt. I said it. And when I see you, it's an issue. You know, but I got, you know, the companies, I didn't realize the value of money. Yeah. Each artist I smashed was making a company a certain amount of fetty. So I'm like DMX. He was bringing Def Jam damn near almost, what, 800 million a year? And actually, he was on Rough Riders, was on Interscope. He was on Def Jam. So now Interscope is involved. I'm talking about Rough Riders. They making them hundreds of millions a year. Inga's involved, which is Foxy, who was really all over. Right. She's making Def Jam 700, 800, 500 million a year. It's like, damn, you add that up, Jesus Christ, you in the billions damn near. Corrupt smashing all the main artists of the big companies. Make them say, hey man, let's get together and he got to stop this because if I depreciate their artists, it depreciates their money. So that's business, which is, you know, you got to handle your shit personally with that person, which is just like, you know, gangbanging, man. You know, you ain't got to let everybody know where you're from. They'll learn that when they meet you and see you.
You got to let Battle Cat know.
Yeah. You got to
let Battle Cat know.
I got to know that. Yeah.
Y'all crazy, man.
That's crazy. Who idea was it to kick over the buildings, homie? Who idea was that?
Well, I'll be honest, you know, when we went to New York, we thought they would really love New York, New York. We thought they would appreciate the lyricism of the coast now. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people nitpick, like you said, oh, he from Philly, he ain't the West Coast. But yeah, I'm West Coast. I defend the West Coast. If anybody comes to the West Coast with the mic, they'll get shut down. I'm the representation of the shutdown in my time, in my prime. You know what I'm saying? So we thought New York, I mean, the New Yorkers would love it, but see, Dog came in with the chorus, and I only had one verse on, so he came in just humming that because he came to the studio and DJ Pooh said, oh, I like that, lay it. He's like, man, I was just listening to Melly and them, man. And he's like, man, that shit dope, lay that shit. So Dog laid it and switched it up a little bit. and it fit like a glove. And then I did the second for Boops. We was like, oh, New York got to give the West Coast respect now. See, it wasn't about us. Everything we did was for the coast.
Right.
Nothing was for us as an individual, for Snoop Dogg, Corrupt. But everything was for the coast. Our success was the success of the coast. The growth was the growth of the coast. And that's what we pushed. So we thought they would really love us now because we hit them with lyrics. And we giving it up for New York.
Right.
But they didn't look at it like we was giving it up. They looked at it like my lyrics was shooting torpedoes, and the hook let them know who I'm shooting at. That's the way they took it. We were shooting a video, and, you know, our trailer got dumped on from afar, and we had nobody to blame because we shot it in New York. So we said, okay.
So y'all trailer got shot at while y'all was shooting that video.
Oh, they was filming that video. I seen a documentary talking about that.
You don't know who, ain't nobody to blame, ain't no face.
This shit was real deal, like Smack said, man. Out there, man, they was out here really busting that
like,
shit.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
really
it was real
doing
deal.
shit.
Holyfield ain't no playing.
Yeah,
Tripping, we tripping.
Just like,
so look,
okay.
y'all know we got the old Death Row thing back there. Ali got.
Oh boy.
Yeah,
K&M Studio.
Yeah, he got
K&M.
Yeah, he back there. He got the whole shit. Boop, bop, bop.
Tell him good job.
And it's a spot where the mic was at up in there. Boom.
Right, right.
Accent. So he like wherever the mic was at, like, you go in there, so you gotta go all the way to the back. I think it was a red carpet or something.
Oh, the red room?
Yeah, it's a spot right there where you can see people's feet was at. You feel me? Because that's when they was rapping.
Right.
Tell us no negative. Tell us something funny and crazy that you and Pac in that motherfucker. Because I feel like I shook your hand, so I shook Pac hand. That's how I feel.
That's a great feeling.
Yeah, it is.
Talking to Bruce Lee mainly about the Chinese martial arts, which include things like Chinese boxing, karate, and judo, which is what he taught when he was in Hollywood. After he left the University of Washington, where he studied of all things philosophy, if you can believe that. He did, but that perhaps you understand why the two go together from the first half of this program. And you can perhaps understand how he got into films. He knew a lot of actors, but I'm told that you got the job on the Green Hornet, where you played Kato the chauffeur, mainly because you're the only Chinese-looking guy who could pronounce the name of the leading character, Britt Reed.
I meant that as a joke, of course. And it's a heck of a name, man. Yeah. I mean, every time I said it at that time, I was super conscious. I mean, really now, that's another interesting thing, huh? Let's say if you learn to speak Chinese.
Yeah.
And it's not difficult to learn and speak the word. The hard thing, the difficult thing, it's behind what is the meaning, what brought on the expression and feelings behind those words. Like when I first arrived in the United States, and I look at a Caucasian, and I really would not know whether he was putting me on, or is he really angry, because we have different way of reacting to it. See, those are the difficult things, you see.
It's almost as if you came upon a strange race where a smile didn't mean what it does to us. In fact, a smile doesn't always mean the same, does it?
Of course not.
Yeah, I just thought of that. Tell me about the big break when you played in Longstreet. I must tell the audience that Bruce Lee had a bit part or a supporting role in the Longstreet series, and this had an enormous effect on the audience. What was it?
Well, you see, the title of that particular episode of Longstreet is called The Way of the Intercepting Fist. Now, I think the successful ingredient in it was because I was being Bruce Lee.
Yourself?
Myself, right. And did that part, just express myself, like I say, honestly express myself at that time. And because of that, I brought, favorable mentioning in like New York Times, which says like the Chinaman, who incidentally came off quite convincingly enough to earn himself a television series, and so on and so on and so forth.
Can you remember the lines by Sterling Siliphant, the key lines?
He's one of my students, you know that?
Was he too?
Yes.
You've had everybody as your student. But you read, there were some lines that expressed your philosophy. I don't know if you remember them or not.
I remember that.
Let's hear.
This is what it is, okay?
You're talking to Longstreet, played by James Francesca.
I said, empty your mind. Be formless, shapeless, like water. Now you put water into a cup, it becomes the cup. You put water into a bottle, it becomes the bottle. You put it in a teapot, it becomes the teapot. Now, water can flow or it can crash. Be water, my friend. Like that, you see?
No, I see. I get the idea. I get the power behind it. So now, two things have happened. First, there's a pretty good chance that you'll get a TV series in the States called The Warriors, in which you use what? The martial arts in a Western setting?
That was the original idea. Now, Paramount, I did Longstreet for Paramount, and Paramount wants me to be in a television series. On the other hand, Warner Brother wants me to be in another one, but both of them, I think, they want me to be in a modernized type of a thing. And they think that Western idea is out. Whereas
you want to do the Western, eh?
I want, because you see, I mean, how else can you justify all these punching and kicking and violence except in that period of the West? I mean, in nowadays, I mean, you don't go around on the street kicking people or punching people. Because if you do, that's it. I mean, I don't care how good you are,
But this is true also of the Chinese dramas, which are mainly costume dramas. They're all full of...
In that period of the West. I mean, in nowadays, I mean, you don't go around on the street kicking people or punching people. Because if you do, that's it. I mean, I don't care how good you are,
But this is true also of the Chinese dramas, which are mainly costume dramas. They're all full of blood and gore over here.
Oh, you mean here? Yeah. Well, unfortunately, you see, I hope that the picture I am in would either explain why the violence was done, whether right or wrong or whatnot. But unfortunately, pictures, most of them here, are done mainly just for the sake of violence. You know what I mean? Like, fighting for 30 minutes, get stabbed 50 times.
Well, I'm fascinated. Let me give you your microphone back. I'm fascinated that you came back.
I am a martial artist.
You came back to Hong Kong on the verge of success in Hollywood and full of it. And suddenly, on the strength of one picture, you become a superstar. Everybody knows you. You have to change your phone number. You get mobbed in the streets. Now, what are you going to do? Are you going to be able to live in both worlds? Are you going to be a superstar here, or one in the States, or both?
Well, let me say this. First of all, the word superstar really turned me off, and I'll tell you why. Because the word star, man, is an illusion. It's something what the public calls you. You should look upon oneself as an actor, man. I mean, you would be very pleased if somebody say, hey, man, you are a super actor. It is much better than, superstar.
Yeah, therefore, you've got to admit that you are a superstar. You're not going to, if you're going to give me the truth.
I'm honestly saying this, okay? Yes, I have been very successful.
Yeah.
Okay? But I think the word star I do not look upon myself as a star. I really don't. I mean, believe me, man, when I say it. I mean, I'm not saying it because
well, what are you going to do? Let's get back to the question.
Okay.
Are you going to stay in Hong Kong and be famous? Or are you going to go to the United States and be famous? Or are you going to try and eat your cake and have it too?
I am going to do both because, you see, I have already made up my mind that in the United States, I think something about the Oriental, the true Oriental should be shown.
Hollywood sure as heck hasn't.
You better believe it, man. I mean, it's always that pigtail and bouncing around, chop, with the eyes slant and all that. And I think that's very, very out of
Is it true that you were, the first job you had was being cast as Charlie Chan's number one boy?
Number one son, No,
they never made a movie?
No. They were going to make it into like a new Chinese James Bond type of a thing. Now that, the old man Chan is dead, Charlie is dead, and his son is carrying on.
But they didn't do that?
No. Batman came along, you see, because, and then everything was started to be going into that, that kind of
which you were in. But
by the way, I did a really terrible job in that, I have to say.
Really? You didn't like yourself? I didn't see it. Let me ask you, however, about the problems that you face as a Chinese hero in an American series. Have people come up in the industry and said, well, we don't know how the audience are going to take a non-American?
Well, such question has been raised. In fact, it is being discussed, and that is why the warrior is not going to be on.
I see.
You see, because unfortunately, such thing does exist in this world. You see, like, I don't know, certain part of the country, right, where like they think that business-wise it's a risk, and I don't blame them. I mean, in the same way, it's like in Hong Kong, if a foreigner come and became a star, if I were the man with the money, I probably would have my own worry of whether or not the acceptance would be there. But that's all right, because if you honestly express yourself, it doesn't matter. See? Because
are you? How about the other side of the coin? Is it possible that you are? I mean, you're fairly hip and fairly Americanized. Are you too Western for Oriental audiences? Do you think?
Oh man, like how? I have been criticized for that.
You have, eh?
Oh, yes, definitely. So. Well, let me say this. When I do the Chinese film, I'll try my best not to be as American as I, have been adjusted to for the last 12 years in the States. But when I go back to the States, it seems to be the other way around. You know what I mean?
You're too exotic, eh?
Yeah, man. I mean, they're trying to get me to do too many things that are really for the sake of being exotic. You understand what I'm trying to say?
Oh, sure.
So it's really, I mean,
when you live in both worlds, it brings its problems as well as its advantages, and you've got both. Time to go to a commercial. I'll be back in a moment with Bruce Lee. Let me ask you whether the change in attitude on the part of the Nixon administration towards China has helped your chances of starring in an American TV series.
Well, first of all, this happened before that.
Yeah.
But I do think that things of Chinese will be quite interesting for the next few years. I mean, not that I'm politically, inclining toward anything.
No, I understand that. I'm just wondering.
But I mean, once the opening of China, I mean, that it will bring more understanding.
Yeah.
More things that are, like different, and maybe in the contrast of comparison, some new thing might grow. So therefore, I mean, it's a very rich period to be in. I mean, like if I were born, let's say, 40 years ago.
Yeah.
If I have a thought in my mind, I said, boy, I'm gonna star in a movie or star in a television series in America. Well, that might be a vague dream, but I think right now, maybe, man.
You still think of yourself Chinese, or do you ever think of yourself as North American?
You know what I want to think of myself? As a human being. Because, I mean, I don't want to sound like, as Confucius say, but under the sky, under the heaven, man, there is but one family. It just so happened, man, that people are different.
Okay, we got to go. Thank you, Bruce Lee, for coming here.
Thank you
for
Pierre.
watching.
Thank you.